Hello, I'm already done. Today is day 21 of your daily live stream. Today, we'll be getting very organized, hence binders. Also, your host, the CEO of Your Moneyline and Hey Money, Peter Dunn.
That was dramatic, wasn't it? Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the show. Sunday it is. Our radio show starts in 2 hours. Good thing I recorded on Fridays. Yeah. All right, hey, day 21 of the Recession-Proof Your Finances in 30 Days. I'm your host, Peter Dunn. Pete the Planner, as a small person just said. So here's the whole plan. For 30 days, we're digging deep. We've got a recession happening. We've got people getting laid off. We have people getting stimulus checks. We have small business owners representing 60 million workers in the United States scrambling to get funding via the SBA program. And that's what we are going to talk about for the remainder of our, 9 days after today. This coming week, starting tomorrow, is investment week here. We're going to not dig into your investment balances because that would be too sad. We're going to help you understand the emotions of investing. Pretty tried and true principles like diversification. You need to understand time horizon, asset allocation, all sorts of other things. Risk tolerance, of course. And then we'll wrap it up next Tuesday on day 30. Our goal is to cut $500 a month of spending immediately. Most people who have made it to day 21 of this program have already cut at least $500 a month of spending. I've already gotten a lot of email about that. So I know you've already cut 500. Let's keep it going. You know, honestly, this next few days in the program we're here together, we're not going to talk a lot about cutting spending. The rest is going to be stop guessing and pressing reset, which are both very important elements to our time together. We want you, if your financial life is not going the way you want right now, or even before the recession hit, we want you to be able to press reset. And I want to show you how to build a financial life from the ground up. You know, as we talked about yesterday, probably Thursday of next week, we're going to do something called Broke and 50. It's to teach you how to still retire someday when you're 50 years oldish right now and you have no money. That may not apply to you right now, but it will apply to your loved ones and other people you care about. So we'll talk about that. Of course, to stop guessing, people just assume their financial lives are fine. They generally are wrong about that because guessing is not the way to run a math problem. Retirement, cash flow, budgeting, debt, all of those things are math problems. They are story problems. When you were doing story problems when you were a kid in school and you just guessed, that didn't go well. So this show is about showing you how to show your work so you actually know the answers. If you need help getting those answers and you don't want to do it yourself, by the way, is anyone else just perturbed that the graphics are all of a sudden cut off on this stream? Like my monitor here, it looks beautiful, and I could readjust all the slides I've built over the last 20 some days, but I'm not going to do it. Facebook tightened their thing. Now my graphics are jacked up. Anyway, if you need help in a really calm way, go to callheymoney.com. Our team of financial experts, CFPs, AFCs, will jump in there, help you with all of these processes. And I also have to say, if this is the first time you're on the show, number 21, day 21, and you want to catch up, just go to callheymoney.com, go to the blog, and you can catch all 20 of the other days with explanations, some text. I mean, sometimes you don't want to watch a video, especially when the guy looks like this. So you can just go and check out the blog there, and we'll walk you through it. If you want to use our services, I'll give you a discount code. The offer code is CHEESE for 10% off. So you're $17.99-ish a month to get advice on your financial life, professional problem solving. Let's say you were terrible at story problems. Well, I got a team full of people who are amazing at story problems. They want to help you. And here's the good news. You never have to talk to me. You can actually talk to really smart people like Musquat. Day 21. Okay. Keith says, switch to pumping Zoom through Periscope. Keith, man, I appreciate the recommendation. I'm not switching it up at this point. We've got 9 days left. People are just going to have to not see the binder or not see the graphics. That's all there is to it. But thank you. Okay. Today is an adult topic. Send the kids out the room. It's an adult topic. So look, we got to have a talk here. And this is not meant to be macabre. This is not meant to be like a downer. This is not a downer. I would talk about this topic if we weren't going through a global pandemic. And so I got to think, you know what? We're talking about rebuilding people's financial lives. Let's have this talk anyway. So this is how this ends for everyone. Everyone, sort of life is sort of undefeated. And by life, I mean death. Like, all of us are going to die at some point in time. This is not a sad thing. Don't get upset. Here's my concern. As we try to get organized in our financial lives right now, and maybe our significant others not as much on board, or they just don't know how things work, it is imperative that you help them understand how to keep this thing going when you move on. Again, don't get sad. We're being adults here. This is not a Dunny Downer situation. So I want to introduce to you something we have at our house called the P.D.B. The P.D.B. What does the P, the D, and the B stand for? Pete's Dead Binder. That's right. This is the binder that the fam goes to, Mrs. Planner goes to when something doesn't work out with this guy being around. The reason we have to do this is in the modern era, we have such digital lives. We have such different financial chores in our life that we split them up. Mrs. Planner deals with some of our things. I deal with others. And so this binder, though, tells our loved ones what to do when we leave. And this isn't just about having a will, but we can talk about that. This is a lot deeper than that. So I'm going to help you put together your own DB. Whenever your first, his name is John, you'd have a JDB, John's Dead Binder. And I name it that mockingly because it's like, well, it's not a great topic. Let's sort of laugh at it a little bit. But here is what is in this binder. I want to help you build one. Again, feels like a weird topic, and I promise you it's not. It's very responsible. I have a good friend who's a financial advisor. I have a lot of financial advisor friends. And, this is a topic he's talking to his clients about right now, not because of COVID-19, but because, look, people are hunkering down. They're getting organized. They're taking times to do things they wouldn't normally do. I've made bread 4 times in the last week, like from scratch. Why? I don't know. Because I'm taking time to do things I normally wouldn't do. This morning, because I can't go to church, went on an hour-long walk with my 8-year-old son, just walking around, no electronics, just talking about basketball and stuff. He was telling me what he would do if he was the commissioner of the NBA. We're all just taking time to do things we normally wouldn't do, which is kind of nice. So this is what I want you to do. I want you to put together this binder. So here's what's in the binder. I'm going to walk you through it. I want you to build your own. Banking. Now, you know what? If you're looking at the graphics that Facebook is spitting out for us, it says, looks like barking. Could be barking. You don't know. But it's banking. Could be Bap King. Okay. In your P.D.B, you need to have a list of every bank account you have at every bank you have. I have 5 or 6 different banks I do business with because of my different businesses and because of our own personal finances. And so I know where all these things are in my head. That doesn't mean my significant other knows where they are, nor should she know at this point in time because she's got other things to worry about. However, when I'm not here to explain it, I don't want her life to be chaotic those moments that I'm gone. Okay, so when I used to be a financial advisor, I had, I believe, close to 15 clients pass away through the course of my career when I was there servicing them. Some people were super organized. Some people weren't. And then our own personal life, of course, you have people that pass away and you try to pick up the pieces of their finances. Let me just tell you, from my experience, you want to do your family a favor and keep them organized so they're not mad at you when they're trying to mourn you. And this is the number one category where people get upset is banking. They don't know where accounts are. I had one couple I dealt with. The husband passed away. The wife was locked out of their accounts for months because it was so complicated because he was old school. He was like, honey, I got it. You don't have to worry about any of this. Well, here's the thing. She did have to worry about it when he wasn't there to fix it, right? So in your binder, you're going to want the banks. You're going to want the account numbers. You're going to want your banker if you have a specific person you deal with at those banks. You don't necessarily have to have your online passwords and those sorts of things there. I have another solution for that, which we'll get to here in a little bit. And look, you're writing account numbers to these banks. You don't have to write balances and things like that, just account numbers. So you're going to want to keep this binder, the old P.D.B. If you just join us, the P.D.B. You're going to want to keep it in a very safe place. right? You can keep it in your safe or just some other place in your home where it's just not sitting out that people can grab all your account numbers. You know what I mean? Okay, so there's banking. Very important. That is number one. Number two, okay, so this one's pretty important too. And it's not just because you're going to want to have your life insurance information in there. And with these accounts, especially banking, go ahead and take some time to put the 1-800 number to the bank as well. No one wants to go Googling for contact numbers in the event that you're gone. So go ahead and just make it easier for them, especially with insurance, who your life insurance company is. Even if you have group life insurance through your employer, you're going to want to put that. You're going to put the 1-800 numbers. If you have a life insurance agent, you're going to want to put their name on there. You could put amounts too, because those are pretty consistent. Those don't change a lot. Obviously, bank account balances change all the time, but you could put amounts and things to know there. The reality is, from my checking account, my life insurance premiums and Mrs. Planner's come out of my checking account. So she doesn't typically go into the checking account that I use that much. I don't really go to the one that she uses that much, even though it's both our money. So in the event that I pass away, she knows I have coverage, but she doesn't necessarily know where it's at, like what company. And to try to figure that out is chaotic, especially when you've got so many other things going on. That's why the binder makes sense. Also, it's also important to know your property and casualty insurance information in there so you can keep paying it. Sometimes you get these situations where those places don't know that someone has died. And so then the policy lapses and it's just crazy and no one needs it. So you can just put, again, property and casualty, that's home and auto. Maybe if you're a renter, you put that in there. Disability insurance, you can put that information there, because why would you want to keep paying disability insurance premiums when you're dead? Right? I've seen that where people continue to have money drawn from their account to pay disability insurance premiums in case the dead person becomes disabled. What? How's that even work? So you need to have all that in there as well. Okay, investments. Again, if you haven't noticed, the Facebook's cutting off our graphics today. I would get a letter writing campaign to get Mark Zuckerberg to fix this personally, but I don't know. Investments. Okay, here's the thing with investments. These things are changing all the time. And if you're in your 40s or 50s or 60s, you've had a longer career, you have 401ks and IRAs spread out all over the place. I find this is the most important thing to get right, other than maybe the banking and the insurance. You know what? It's all important. You're going to have to put where the account is, what the account number is. You also need to make sure while you're doing this that you have beneficiaries on these accounts as well. TODs, as they call them in the biz, transfer on death. If I have an account and my wife or our trust is not the beneficiary, because maybe I had the account before we got married or something like that, whatever your situation is, it just makes it more difficult. So when you're putting this together and you're finding the accounts, take an extra hour to make sure that you've got beneficiaries on every single one of those investment accounts. Believe me, it will just make it easier. The other thing is, some of you have been through relationship transitions, divorces, whatever. You break up with people. That's the case, then you're going to want to change those beneficiaries to maybe something more current, of people that actually make more sense, right? Again, this whole process will take you maybe 2 hours. Isn't that worth it? Right? To take 2 hours to do this, that when, your legacy, when you're gone, isn't disorganization and the person's mad because they can't operate, financially because you've left everything in disarray. Oh, by the way, the other side of this, let's go back to banking for a second. Obviously, I own a business or a few businesses and whatnot. And so there's banking and there's financial ramifications, all of that. Business continuation, if you're a small business owner, ones that are struggling to keep their businesses afloat right now, you need all that information in this binder too. Mrs. Planner doesn't want to run my businesses, right? And nor should she. So instructions on what to do, who to talk to, all those sorts of things. All right, next up, advisors. If you're looking at this only on Facebook and you see that the graphics are cut out because I'm too lazy to fix it after 19 days of it working, it does say advisors at the bottom of the screen. Here's what that means. Any investment advisors you have, any bankers, any lawyers, any accountants. I have the primary relationships with our accountant and our attorneys, different attorneys for different things, intellectual property attorneys and estate planning attorneys, all those sorts of things. It doesn't make sense. I don't know some of the people that Mrs. Planner knows in our life, and she deals with those relationships. Well, I happen to deal with these. So we have all those people's contact information there. Of course, their name, what company they're currently with. Those things change sometimes. Their email address and phone number, how to get a hold of them quickly. And finally, in the P.D.B, Mrs. Planner or whoever accesses it will also find a copy of our will. If not our will, where to find the will. It just depends. Sometimes you just don't want your will sitting around. It's a little weird, wills and trusts. But it has specific instructions on where to find it, who has a copy, all of those sorts of things. You don't have to update this thing, but maybe once a year, and it might take 10 minutes. Maybe if you added an investment account or a bank account or something like that, look, you're going to be inside a lot over the next 60 to 90 days. So why don't you go ahead and take some time to do this? It just makes a lot of sense. And you can call it whatever you want. You can put it whatever, Barry's Dead Binder, the B.D.B. Keith did ask a question that I'm going to try to answer for him here, if he's still stuck around. We'll see. Pete, have you been discussing PPP and EIDL for small business owners? Also, fair, and I'll be quiet right now, is what he said, because he asked the earlier question. I've not talked about PPP, but I personally was able to finally navigate that process yesterday for our businesses. So I'll just say this. If you are a small business owner, go to the bank in which you do primarily most of your business. If they happen to be a validated partner of the SBA, then you can do your loan through them. If not, you're going to have to go to a different bank, maybe a bank where you have less business. It is a very frustrating process. Most of the issues right now revolve around technology and the volume of applications. Who knows if the program itself will work? So I've got my application number. I'm done. But who knows if we'll get the funding that we were promised. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. If you want additional help, go to callheymoney.com. Our team can walk you through just about anything in your financial life. And of course, if you want to catch back episodes of this, go to the blog at callheymoney.com/blog, or just when you get to Call Hey Money, you'll see the blog and look at that. You click it and there you go. This coming week is investment week. That's all we're going to talk about this week, our investment week. We're not going to dig into the market in terms of why it's good or bad right now, but we're going to help you understand all the different components of your investment life. I think we're going to go play a little family soccer right now. So I'm going to go do that. Probably should have taken my hat off today. But you know what? Sunday, don't care. Hey, everybody, we're going to get through this. Be patient. Know what's coming. There's going to be continuous disappointing news over the next 30 to 45 days. And I mean that. I say that as adults. We can have these conversations. To acknowledge facts and acknowledge bad news is not inducing fear. It's to come to terms with the challenges that we have. I wish on several levels someone just said, all right, look, we're in this till July 13th. Because I can work backwards off July 13th and I can plan. I think what makes this so difficult is because we don't know there's an end in sight. We don't know how to set our expectations. So I just keep pushing mine further so I can be disappointed by getting out of here early, right? I hope you do the same. If you need additional help, go to callheymoney.com. I'm out for now. See you tomorrow. I'm Pete the Planner.